Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Today will be the second meeting for this week. I just got my access to Blackboard today, so I've already posted most of the materials, the lectures from made by Professor Yearwood, as well as the quiz. So right now, if you go to the Blackboard, you will see the lecture materials over there. You will see the syllabus over there. There's also a academic integrity statement. What you need to do by the end of this week is one, to print the last page of the syllabus, sign it, and did you guys do it today? I don't think you can do it. Some of you did, right? Some of you bring it here, right? If you bring it here, just put it here. If you did not have a chance to do it, I understand that because they just supposed to do it here. So you can bring it next Monday. The three things: print the last page of the syllabus, sign it, print the last page of the academic integrity statement, sign it, and then by the end of Sunday, finish the first quiz. The first quiz is basically about lecture one. And the lecture one, again, as I said, is a history of writing and graphic communication. I read it yesterday and found that Professor Yo is really very good at writing. Everyone can write, right? Every one of us can write. But there's simply an elegance in his writing. It's really very good writing. The word choices, the organization of sentences, I believe you can learn a lot from his writing. Plus, the knowledge about the history of writing and the history of the graphic communication is also very interesting. If you read this chapter, it will give you a very in-depth understanding of communication. Communication is very important. Think about it right now. Currently, even I'm here, my family is in China. I can communicate with them immediately. Right now, if I even with restart away, I open my cell phone, I turn on QQ, which is a Chinese version of you see, FaceTime, right? Yes, FaceTime, and I can immediately leave a voice message here, and they can get it immediately, right? Can that really happen some thousand of years ago? No. You can imagine this happened hundreds of years ago, right? Remember that not even 100 years ago. When I was a little kid, I lived at the bottom of the hill. Well, my mom said, she lives on the top of the hill. And many times I miss her so much, I just can't go because you need to go to the top of the hill. That's about a half a mile walking, right? And can you call her? No, you can't. Can you talk to her immediately? No, you can't. It's not like right now you can communicate with everybody. Professor Yodi, his article in the lecture, he talked about the first type of uh, words. It's called cuneiform. Right? Did you guys have a chance to read it? Cuneiform is kind of like the words that you carve into stones or carve into clays is names. So all of those cuneiforms are kind of like have sharp uh, curves, like have sharp angles, something like that. Not like the letters that we use today. And then some words disappear, the cuneiform. Hundreds of years later, probably 1,000 years from now, people can't read it anymore. Nobody can recognize that words. And then generations of words actually disappeared in history. If it was there, nobody can read it. But a graphic communication is something you can always recognize. For example, if I read a Chinese here, you probably can't read it, right? Anyone who can read Chinese? So writing, even writing communication has its boundary. You can use text. But graphic communication, as well as music, is something can really go across boundaries. For example, you pick up a newspaper writing in French, even though you may not really be able to read French, you can still tell from the picture, from the position of that icon, which story is the most important story, right? Now, is that a joyful story or is that a sad story? You can still get a lot of things from the glove. So read it. My suggestion for you to do the lecture one is read for the first time, and then you will have 1 hour to finish the text. When you do the text, I suggest you to open the lecture one on this set and do the test on the other set. When you look at the question, you can just quickly find the answer from the lecture. That's what I suggest you to do. The quiz one has 16 questions, which means 15 multiple choices. Not really multiple choices, but it's multiple answers. That means the correct answer, there may be 3 correct answers, 2 correct answers, sometimes just 1 correct answer. It's not like multiple choice, right? Multiple choices give you 4 answers, and there's only always 1 correct answer, right? So once you find the correct answer, you're all set. For multiple answers, it has multiple correct answers. So even if you find that 1 answer is right, you may still want to look at the other answer because all the answers may be right. So there are 15 multiple answers questions. Each of them with 2 points. And there is a matching question for 2 points. So that's the quiz. When we get down this part, I would like you to use the rest of the class time to work on that. Clearly, you want to read the lecture first, and then you can use the other time to do the first quiz. The deadline for the first quiz is again Sunday night. That's the deadline. So now let's continue to talk about chapter 1 of this book. We're going to use InDesign to do a simple project to let you to know how to use the different parts of the InDesign, how to work on the basic stuffs. Again, when I'm talking here, I would like you to play on the computer. When the class is done, email it to me. Right now I have my email address, so email it to me. If you completed it, you will earn 10 points as the topics. So find the computer, log in, launch the InDesign right now. You can log in. Do you have your password for username and password? once you log in, you can see here. Good. Again, once you log in, if you can't see the icon of InDesign, you click go to application, and then you are supposed to find InDesign over here. First one is actually active. Now this is the side. Okay. Again, once you open InDesign, you will see the screen will look like this. We've said that you can use InDesign to create a new document, to create a book, to create a library. For now, we're going to use it to create a document. You can simply click a document, but the Valentine InDesign users always suggest us to use the mouse less, to use the keyboard more, because that's a quicker way to do it. If you want to use shortcut keys to open a new document, you simply press Command N. That's use the keys to open a document. But if you prefer to use mouse, to use pointer, you can simply click document. Again, the intent, we have a print and a wipe. This is the CS5. The newest version, CS6, actually also have a intent for digital publication, which means you publish it, you probably put it on, not really on internet, maybe you put it on mobile phone or on CD, DVD, these kind of things. So for now we choose for print. Uncheck facing page again, because we're going to talk about a facing page later on, but right now just uncheck it. InDesign has a very useful function that when you want to like a number of pages, right now I have 1 here. If I want to change it into 4 pages, how do I select a number? The worst way is to put your pointer here and then highlight the number. That's the worst way to do it. The best way to do it is you simply click here. See, if you click the words beside the cell, the number will be selected. So that's the best way to do it. If you do not want to use the mouse, you simply press tab, and you see the pointer goes to the next cell. And if you press Shift tab, it goes up. Okay. Again, we talked about the orientation in the last class. We also talked about this icon here. Anyone still remember what's the function of this icon link? Right, make all the settings the same. And if you want to have different settings, if you want to have more space on top, less space on the bottom, the first thing you need to do is click that icon and break it. So if you click it and break it, you will be able to set different spaces on the top or on the bottom. If you do not break it, you can't make it, right? You know, you will be forced to have the same space all around the document. That's what we discussed last time. And then click OK. I just have one column right here, but that's fine. I just use this as a example. Again, the InDesign workspace has several important areas. The first area is this bar, what we call the menu bar. It has everything in the menu bar. which means if you found every function with the InDesign, you can find it from the menu bar. So the menu bar contains everything. That actually makes it very difficult for you to find things over there. That's why we have other bars. We have application bars. In the application bars, you have different functions. The screen mode. Let's talk about the screen mode. What's screen mode? We have 5 types of screen mode. Normal screen mode, preview screen mode, bleed and slump, as well as presentation. Presentation screen mode is something we will not really use it, so we're not going to talk about it here. But in the normal screen mode, this is the normal screen mode. You will see this is the edge of the page, right? This is the edge of the page. And this is the edge of the document. You will also see the pasteboard. If you click let's say if you click a triangle, let's click a triangle here, no, rectangle, you will see the bounding box. Let's click a circle here. And you see the circle, but look here. Around the circle, there's also a rectangle. Did you see that? I just created a circle over here. But you can also see around the circle, there's a rectangle. But if you click other places, the rectangle will be gone. If you select the circle again, the rectangle will be there also. The rectangle is called a bounding box. In the normal screen mode, you will see all of those kind of stuff. But if you switch to preview mode, you will not see the document edge, right? And the pasteboard is grayed out. This is exactly what you will see when the document is printed out. So that's called a preview. And you can switch it from here. The shortcut key for switch between normal screen and preview screen is simply when the text tool is not activated, you press W. So I'm press W. I switch to the normal screen mode. I press W again. I switch to preview. Now, when you try to create a project in the middle of the process, you are creating a project. Sometimes you want to see, wow, I want to look at how this project looks like when it's printed out. You can simply press W, switch to preview model, and take a look at it. When you work on it, you want to use the normal mode. A simple thing is that in the normal mode, there's a pasteboard. And you can put anything in the pasteboard, right? Like if you do not use it in the document right now, you can put it in the pasteboard for a moment. And then decide which place you want to put this thing on the document. But when you switch to preview model, anything put on the pasteboard, you cannot see it. It will not be sure. So that's in the application bar. In the application bar, you can also choose the zoom degree. Right now, we are seeing it at 47%. If you want to look at the project at 100%, you can simply change it. Here, you can choose what workspace you want to have. Right now, we are working with the essential workspace. So it has control tools, it has those panels, it has those stuff. But you can also switch to book workspace. You will have a lot of more panels in the right side.
Because when you are really working on a book, you will need those panels. But when you work on a document, you probably will not need those panels. If you switch to interactive, you see there are different panels that you're going to use on the right side. Most of the time, we just use the essentials. I mentioned that last time. Let me ask you. The panels here, let's see the page panel, layer panel, link panel, swatch panel. Swatch panel is the panel that you can use to give the project colors. What if the panel is gone? Let's see if one of the panel is gone. Swatch panel right now is gone, but I still want to use it. Where can I find it? Huh? Window. Yes, any panel he listed here, you can find it from window. So swatch, it must be somewhere. Where is it? Swatch. Color. Yes, underneath the color, here you see there's a triangle. And if you put your pointer here, you will see the color title in underneath the window actually contains color gradient and swatch. So if you click a swatch, you will see the swatch panel coming back again. We talk about the control panel. The control panel has a direct selection tool and a selection tool. Anybody still remember what's the difference between a selection tool and a direct selection tool? Anybody still remember?
The direct selection, you can alter things about the objects. The other one, you can just put the objects.
Right. But put it in a simple way, the selection tool selects the whole stuff, the whole object. So you can rescale it, you can move it, but you can't change the shape. The direct selection tool can select a part of the object, so you can change the shape. For instance, let's create a, what's the symbol of Texas? Huh? The star, right? Let's create a star. Okay. So we use the ellipse tool, click the triangle, choose the polygon tool. Click here. And then we're going to use the polygon tool to create a star. Middle number of sides, 5, right? It's not 6. So let's change it into 5. Star inset, which means how much you wanted to go to inset. Let's say 50%.
Where are you at? Yeah, I'm lost.
You're lost? Good. That means you have a question. And when the question is answered, that means you will get something. Okay. I'm trying to create a star. So we're going to use a polygon tool. Look at that triangle. Yeah. Put your cursor here. Okay. Oh, yeah, you want to change it, we talk about that. Okay, just click this. Some preference. Anyone else have questions?
Did you change the height?
I didn't change it. If you want, you can change it. Yeah. I see you have a polygon with it. Yes, because you didn't set the inset. If you set the inset, that's not great. Okay. Yes. Give it a 50% and then hit OK. And then you drag it, you will have a star here. Okay. Now see the star is not perfect. Sometimes is is too wide. Sometimes is too high. And we want to have a perfect star, right? Press Shift and then drag it. Okay, that's the tip. Anytime when you create a line, a circle, a rectangle, a polygon, a star, if you press Shift and drag it, you will have a perfect shape. If you press, if you create a line, if you press Shift, it will create a horizontal line, perfectly horizontal line, perfectly vertical line, or 45 degree. So Shift key has such a function. Click OK, yeah, and then drag it, and then click and drag. Okay, anyway, you can click and drag. But as I said, if you press Shift and then drag, you will have a perfect. Okay, now you have star. You can give it color. Let's give it a color. If you want to give the star a color, I know some of you are ahead of this. That's fine. But for most of you, if you want to give a color to this star, select it first. So now, how do you know which object is selected, which one is not? Look at the bounding box. If the bounding box is shown, that means the object is selected. If the bounding box is not shown, that means it's not selected. So right now, the star is selected, the circle is not. Okay, select it, and then we want to give it a color. The color you can use the swatch panel or the color panel. We're going to talk about the difference between those two panels later on. But for now, let's use the color panel. Okay. And then you can use the eyedropper. Choose whatever color. Let's say normally the star should be red, so we choose red. And if not, that's not the red you want to have, you can change to different red. And maybe this red. Okay. Now, I'm going to call your attention when you use colors. Look at here. There are two squares here. Any one of you know what's the function of those two squares? Yes, I see some of you already work on that. That's great. One square is for the stroke. The other one is for the fill. So right now, this one is activated. That means if you apply a color, you are applying the color to the fill. But if you make this one activated, and then you apply a color, let's say we're going to apply a blue color, and that's the color for the fill. And now I'm giving the star a blue stroke. That's the color of the stroke. Sorry. And if you think the stroke is too lean, that you want it to be more thick, so that it can be seen, you can increase the point of the stroke. You select it, go to stroke, and let's say we're going to give it a 10 point stroke. Okay, now we change the stroke. Now someone of you may say, well, looks like the star has 3 colors, right? If you look at it here, you see 3 colors. You see red color in the fill, a blue color in the stroke, but you also see a line here. What is this line? This line is supposed to be gone if you switch to preview mode. So let's switch to preview mode. See, that line is gone. So that line is over there just for you to look at when you are working on the project. And when you really print it out, the line will not be there. Switch back again. Selected. Most words on stroke. And the stroke, you can choose the weight for the stroke, the cap, different shape of cap, different shape of joints. You can also choose where you want to align the stroke. It can be on the outside of the object, inside the object, or in the middle. You can choose type. Right now we are using lines, but we can choose other type of stroke. Let's choose a dot. The stroke changed into this. You can play with this. Let's change it into dashed. Oh, it's not selected. I need to select it and then change it into dashed. That's how it looks like. And you can change it into other tabs. Wavery, let's say. Again, you need to select it first. So the star right now becomes a flower, What kind of flower is that? I have no idea. Change it into different lens. Looks beautiful, So this is the fill and the stroke. Let me see if there's anything others I want to talk about for now. We talk about the panels, the menu bar, the toolbox, tools. We mentioned the tools, selection tools. We talk about the stroke and the fill. One more thing. We've mentioned that from here, the application bar, you can change the zoom level. But if you want to change the zoom level quickly, there are several shortcut keys. Let's say if you want to zoom in or zoom out. Let's say we want to look at this project at 50% zoom level. You can simply press Command 5. It's not working, Command 5. Let's say Command 2. Command 2. Okay. Command 2 means we are going to look at it at 200%, right? So Command 3, nothing happened. Command 4, we're looking at it at 400, right? Command 5, we look at it at 50%. So those are several shortcut keys you want to remember. Command 1 means you are looking at 100% zoom level. 400, yes. Command 3, nothing happened. So don't try Command 3. One more thing, you will see that there are two frame tools. This is rectangle tool. This is rectangle frame tool. What's the difference between those two tools? Basically, those two tools are the same. You can create a rectangle with this rectangle tool. You can also create a rectangle with this rectangle frame tool. The only difference is that the rectangle frame tool has two diagonals. And the rectangle tool can be used as a text frame. If you click tab, put it here, you can tap text into here. The rectangle frame tool can also be used as text frame. So there's no much difference. You can use them interchangeably. Why they have two rectangle tools if they are pretty much the same? This is actually to give the convenience to the newspaper designers. Let me ask you, anyone of you have experience of designing newspaper? Okay, you did, great. Which newspaper? The University Press, right. You know that when you design a page for the newspaper, you need to select the spaces for the text. You also need to select the spaces for the photos. So if you use InDesign to design newspaper pages, the rectangle tool normally can use it for the spaces reserved for text. And then the rectangle frame tool, you can use it for the spaces reserved for photos. And that's a way to differentiate the text space and the photo spaces. Okay. One more thing before I talk about the last thing. In InDesign, generally speaking, when you open a new document, you can't tap over there. You can't tap. So in InDesign, you can't really tap the text into the document. You have to do one thing first. That is to create a text frame. Because the text can only exist in a text frame. How do you create a text frame? You can use the rectangle tool. Click a rectangle. Use the circle tool, click circle. All of those can be turned into text frame. But most of the time, we simply click the tab, the T, the tab tool here. That's the T. And then drag it. You have a text frame here. And then you can tap. If there's no text frame, you can't tap on it. You can't insert a table into document unless you have a text frame. Now, once you have a text frame created by the tab tool or created by the circle, you can put a text into it. Now we can tap here. We can even tap into the star. So you have to have a text frame over there. We've talked about that when you finish your project, you need to submit a PDF version. How do you make your project into a PDF version? Export. Don't use save as or save. If you save it, it is a InDesign document. If you export it, you will export it into a PDF document. So remember that. But many times, when you are working on a InDesign document, you need to save it, right? Otherwise, you may lose it. In InDesign, there's 3 save functions. There's a save. There's a save as. There's a save a copy. Now, actually, most of the software has those 3: save, save as, save a copy. It's not really easy to know what's the difference between those 3. Let me see. Who knows the difference? What's the difference of a save as, and save a copy? Go try it.
Just different formats. Yeah, that's what different formats. Like if you just save it, it saves in the automatic format. And if you save as, you can choose what format to save it as, and then save the copy. I'm not sure.
Yeah. The difference is after save the document, which document you are still working on. So save. anytime you save it and you continue to work on, you're still working on the original document, right? But if you use save as, let's say you create something at one point. Do I have a marker here? No? Okay. Yeah, I have a marker here. Okay. Let's say we are working on document A. To a point, I save as B. Then I continue to work on the document. Which document am I working on? A or B? Right. If you use save as, and you save as B, you continue to work on it, you are working on document B. Well, save a copy. Let's say you are working on document A. At one point, you save a copy, call it B. And then you continue to work on the document. Which one are you working on, A or B? A or B? If you use save a copy, you're working on A. That's right. So that's the difference. When those are simple things, but if you do not know the differences, it can create big frustration when you work with computer, right? Computer is our best friend, but it can also give us a nightmare if you do not know the nuances of some of the tricks. So that's a save as, save a copy. That is pretty much what I want to talk from chapter 1. Again, I would call your attention to one sentence in the project at the end of chapter 1. It says, red text with a black stroke, always use with caution. Why? Because those two colors do not go very well together. That's again a sign that when you are creating your own project, always take a look at the colors, see whether or not you think they can go together or not. Any questions so far? No? Okay. If you do not have questions, the class will be over at 3:10, so you have tons of time to read the lecture 1. And if you want to start to work on the quiz, that's fine. But be aware that once you start the quiz, you have to finish it within 1 hour. That's why I suggest you to read the lecture material first, and then take a exclusive 1 hour to sit there and working on the quiz. But right now it's your time to work on it.
Do we need to save this?
Export it into PDF. Email it to me as a pop quiz. That's 10 points for you. My email address again is QING. I can write it here. It's on the syllabus. If you can go to the course website. It's QINGJIANG.YAO.
You send to the flash drive?
No, email it to me. For this one, you don't need it anymore. So just email it to me. I will give you 10 points.
Do we need to change any of these options under export? It comes up like this.
Yeah, I don't think you need to make any changes.
I just have to.
You need to save it to some place. You need to know where you save it. That's good. I said you are opening the application of your
It's doing that on mine too. Okay, so then we need to change to.
Don't save it. Yeah, save it. Right now you can save it to
Save as interactive.
documents.
Okay, that's what I did. It did that thing.
Oh, you can use it. You can format. You can change
That's what you created, right?
So we need to do it from Blackboard, right?
No, just use your email. University email.
Same one.
What about this?
Yes.
I don't like all.
You will find it fun.
I'm really
It's,
not
it's
good
pretty
at
much
all.
it's pretty much useful. I think your picture is beautiful.
Oh, well,
Is it this your first time using this software?
yes.
Yes.
That's terrific. Yeah, I can see. I cannot really see that.
I got lost because my computer wouldn't let me log in. Y'all were already just to go with stars. And I got lost.
Well, you can wait.
What did you
That's it right there. Is that a Q? Oh.
Does it have to be done through our module or can it be done from our regular?
Any email, but it has to be my Lamar email.
Yeah.
I went to the library to print out your syllabus and the academic integrity, and there was an hour wait on the
So-
printer, so I just like went to
What is the first? Is it G-I-N?
Q.
Q. Q-I-N-G.
J-I-A-N-G.
Oh, A-G?
A-N-G. J-I-A-N-G.
A-N-G.
And then dot Y-A-O.
Q-I-N-G-J-I-A-N-G.
Yeah.
Can you come help me save it? 'Cause I can't get the export of them.
If you save it as an InDesign document.
Oh, inside out?
Right, it's not a PDF document. Can you save it as a PDF?
Yeah, if you export.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one is Q. Q-I-N-G. J-I-A-N-G. I tried to ask the technicians, can they make it simpler? They said no. It has to be that long. Yeah, the print. Yeah, yeah. The second one, the print. Yeah. You cancel out.
Oh, I
You said
saved
that.
it. That doesn't make sure.
Okay.
And mine doesn't like exact. I mean, like I have everything you did, but it's not exactly like where everything.
That's fine. That's totally fine.
Okay.
I know you practiced all of these.
So we can use any email and send it to yours.
Yeah, you can do that. Whichever email you prefer.
That's all I need to do. And it's Y-A-O.
Last name Y-A-O. Yeah, that's right.
We're just making sure.
Okay. It's on the syllabus. You can check it
We're
out.
just making sure.